Okay guys, so welcome to part 3 in the fundamental basics of styling natural hair. Now as you can see, I have taken down my twists and my braids, and even without putting in any products in my hair while recording this video for you all, you can see there is some form of definition in there from just showing you all how to do the various forms of twisting. But if you all haven't seen those two videos of the twist and the braids, go back and watch them before continuing on this one. In this video, I am basically going to show you all a few of the other simple techniques that you can use when styling your natural hair. Because I mean, styling hair is more than just twists and braids. We do a lot of other things like the roll, tuck and pin, the Bantu knots, the tuck and pins, the Pompadour. There is so much that goes into styling our hair. Okay, so we're gonna start with a section here to the front that I am going to show you all the Pompadour. Normally for the Pompadour to the front of the hair, you do like a U-shaped section, just like this. Detangle, of course. And again guys, please don't mind my ends. Please don't mind my ends. Right. So how I like to do my Pompadour is basically a roll and pin. That's basically what a Pompadour is for natural hair, because we can't just do this and have it. We have to ensure that it is in place. So I roll, and while I'm rolling, I mold it into place, shape it up nicely. Ensure that it stays on all ends, and once you get to the height that you desire, you just use some hairpins and pin them into place. Okay, let me just tuck this section back so you can see a little better while I am pinning, so that you can appreciate better what the Pompadour looks like. So once you have the first two hairpins in, you just go ahead adding more until you get the desired shape. Okay, so put this way. Looks like it. So basically that's what it is. Now a lot of times when I do styles that include a Pompadour, I put twist here and here, or a flat twist or twist, and I put it here so that it kind of takes away from this part of the Pompadour. So I have found that whenever I do a style and put a twist or maybe even a braid, that it goes here, I then can shape it up into whatever area that I want, into what direction I want, and sometimes even pin it a little bit on the twist that I have put in right behind it, so that it makes it a little more defined, makes it look neater and more sleek. Okay, so I'm going to leave the Pompadour, and we are now going to a roll, tuck and pin. And I think I could maybe use the roll, tuck and pin to put here so you all can see. Tuck this part away. Detangle. Now for a roll, tuck and pin, there are two ways of doing it. You can either do it flat onto your scalp, or you do a roll, tuck and pin, just like we did with the Pompadour. So the Pompadour hair is basically a roll, tuck and pin, but this one is going to be slightly different. So this one we are going to roll. I'm hoping that you all can see it. roll, 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 and you want to roll it all the way to the end, and then you want to tuck, tuck, and pin. So it's a roll, tuck, and pin. So a lot of this one I use when I do just the styles that I don't necessarily want to do a twist or a braid, but I still want it to look a little sleek. So it's a roll, tuck, and pin. I remember growing up, we used to call this, what was the word? What was that word we used to consider this little thing? We call it something almost like a twist, but like without doing the twist kind of thing. I can't remember. Anywho, okay, so now we're on to the Bantu knots. Now a lot of you all have seen so many Bantu knots here on YouTube. I normally don't put in so much Bantu knots because slipping in them is a pain. So this is it. Now there are two ways that you can accomplish a Bantu knot. The first way, detangle, and these ends need to go. Oh, I think that's maybe from the braid. Okay. Now the first way, you hold the hair at the roots and you twist. Basically just roll, roll. Now when you get to here, what I like to do, I twist into the roots and let it start doing this on its own. So once it does this, then you continue rolling and you just keep going. Oops. Keep going around and putting it underneath the first one that it created on its own. If you need to, pull it up slightly so that it gives you more room to the bottom here. And you just keep tucking underneath. And this is it. And that's it. Now the second Bantu knot that I normally put is a twisted Bantu knot. And I think it basically speaks for itself. You do a twist. I normally like to make it a chunky twist. And when you're here on the twist, rather than let it go, you keep twisting. Twist it, and again let it do that little thing on its own. And then you continue twisting underneath the first one that was created, and you keep going under. Again, pull up if you need to, make more space, under, under. And that's it for the twisted Bantu knot. My Pompadour is misbehaving. Now one of the things with a Bantu knot is when you get to the ends, a lot of times you don't have enough of that extra ends that you can just keep twisting and tucking it in so that it does not unravel. So what you can do is take a small hairpin or even a rubber band and put it into it so that it stays in place. So this is it, the normal Bantu knots and the twisted Bantu knots. Now as an extra, I am going to show you all one of the things that we did when we were younger. And I think now they are calling it pin curls, but we basically just called them hairpin twists when we were growing up. I'm going to take off this roll and pin here. So I can show it to you all to the front. So I'm going to take a section of this hair. Small section. Tuck away with my comb. Now growing up, this may have been one of our quickest ways of stretching our hair or keeping our hair stretched and moisturized. You do just a chunky twist, a loose twist, well, a chunky twist, not a loose twist. So we twist it. And let me tell you, your hair would stay so stretched. I used to do this when I started doing my stretch. I don't know why I stopped. I'm really not sure. I don't know. I guess discovering all these new techniques, we kind of tend to forget where we started and the techniques that we had initially. So I may go back to this because doing this honestly really keeps your hair stretched and soft. And one of the things I love about it is that it keeps your ends and everything tucked away. So whenever you moisturize, the moisture just stays in there and just keeps going around that little twist that you have made. So what you do, unlike with the Bantu knot when you let it twist, you help it along, you tighten the roots, but not enough that it starts curling on itself. You hold it here and you twist around, holding it in place. Keep twisting and you go around. So you basically want to have it like a spiral when you're done. Tuck in the end, and wherever the end gets to, you want to take a hairpin and pin it into place. And that's it. The end came off a bit, so let me bring it back this way and then suck it with the hairpin, and that's it. Now I am not sure what you all will call this, but this is basically it. So it makes this sort of spiral right here whenever you do the twist. So this, it kind of is just as effective as the Bantu knot, but not really for curling, because when you do it this way, because you don't do it so tight, you find that the curls don't come out too tightly. But this I have found is very effective in keeping the hair stretched and just keeping it super moisturized, because everything is tucked away nicely. And if you realize that everything is just hair, so once you moisturize, it basically just keeps going around itself and just keep in that moisture so nicely. I'm really not sure why I stopped doing this though. I'm really not sure why. I may start back getting it done. This I have actually worn out in public because it's actually like a style, guys. So once you do it with your whole head, and what I normally do whenever I want to wear it out like this to go out, I put my hair into like different little shapes. So I sometimes do the triangles, or I sometimes do like the little circle with a triangle, like a cone kind of thing, so that it makes it look a little more fancy. It makes it look a little more stylish. So it doesn't look like you just decided to hairpin twist your hair at night and just go into town with it that way. But let me know in the comment section if you're from the Caribbean or wherever in the world that you're from. If you did this, let me know the name down in the comment section below so that I can know what the various countries call this particular style for our hair. Now guys, this was it. This concludes our short 3-part series in the fundamentals of natural hairstyling. Now I'm hoping that let's do something with this before we continue, guys. Now I am hoping from this short 3-part series you may have gotten a better understanding of how I go about styling my natural hair. I hope that from the ways that I demonstrated the different types of styling, the different plaits, the different twists, the different braids to you all, it made it a little easier for you to be encouraged to go ahead and style your natural hair. But guys, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye!